Hell, it's Base Trade TV.
Welcome back to the Ace match, guys. We just finished setting up the overlay here. Tied up now 1-1. This is the WCS Season 2 European Qualifiers. I'm Rifkin, now joined by Namshar. And spawning in the top right corner of the map, from Alien Invasion, the yellow Zerg player, Golden.
And in the top left, we got our red Terran player with the amazing holds last game. Can he show an equally good performance in this game? It is Yoda.
You know, there's the whole Tarson holds thing, but I really feel like it's Yoda holds, because holy crap.
Yeah.
I guarantee you, even some of the other contenders that we see in these brackets would have fallen to that situation. I cannot begin to stress how much control and how difficult that must have been for Yoda to hold on to that game. His depots were down. He was bleeding out units non-stop. But I think you brought up the biggest point, and it's the fact that the Widowmines were allowed to do so much more damage than they ever should have been able to because there was no Overseer.
Yeah. And, there was no... I guess it was... He didn't want to maybe spend the gas on it, but, with no Overseer speed and stuff, when he did make the Overseers, it took them forever to go across the entire map to finally join the army, and then I guess they got killed off, and then, had to do it again, and it just took them, so long to get across the map, so you just didn't have them available, and that was a really big deal. And then, towards the later stages, those upgrades really kicking in for Yoda as well, being able to trade with the Marines a lot better. But yeah, that was a fantastic hold by Yoda. I'm so impressed, really.
It's really hard to go into that more without just sounding like we're being fanboys, but alright. So Merry-Go-Round's a different map entirely. One of the key things about this map that I think is really going to influence it in two ways, of course, the fact that it's a 3-player spawn, that's kind of cool. It's like the only map that's a 3-player spawn, currently in the ladder pool, but there's the closed air spawn locations. Mutalisks are not going to be nearly as maneuverable. You can't quite run away from the main where the mineral line is. Drops are going to be a lot harder to pull off because you don't have that dead space to hide in. So already this map is limited by air in such a significant manner compared to any other map currently in the pool.
Yeah, for sure. It's really quite an interesting map. Also like the third base location, stuff like that. We see that in some other new maps as well. But it's really interesting. But I mean, you can always expand. If you expand away from your opponent, your third is still going to be really far back. So it's not that hard to defend, but it's still quite an open area. So the third base location is quite interesting, and the fact that it's a 3-player map also pretty cool. We see the Reaper coming in now. 6 links on the way for Golden. He did open for the link speed again, as he always tends to do.
This is very common though. You're expecting Reapers. There's very few Terran players who won't open with at least a Reaper. This map though as well, not too unlike Habitation Station, does have limited Reaper space, so it's kind of not surprising to see Yoda not go for that third one.
Yeah, indeed. And also from Golden's perspective, I mean, you could go, gasless on a map like this, I feel, because of how limited movements the Reapers do have. But Golden, he really likes his feeling opener because he's just able to do so many different things with it. We see him go for the, all-in follow-up every now and then by killing the Hellions and then making a lot of banelings.
So, hang on, I got actually a really big question for you that has been something Zombie, Grub, and I have been discussing throughout our casts of WCS. What do you think about this whole new map pool and the way they've laid out the third bases on all these maps? They're so far away from what we're used to.
Yeah, I mean, I've been ill all week, so I've not been able to play that many games on the new maps, but I mean, at the very least, it's very interesting. I mean, I guess it does sorta favor Zerg in the way that the thirds are really exposed, and it's it's quite easy for Zerg to get a good surface area if you want to attack the third base of your opponent. And at the same time, as a Zerg player, if you just expand away from the Protoss or Terran opponent, it's not that hard to defend either. So I mean, I guess it kind of favors Zerg, but at the same time, the travel distance for timing attacks isn't that big on those maps, so I don't know, it's a bit interesting, but I mean, I'd imagine it's maybe a little bit Zerg favored. I'm not quite sure yet, though. I haven't played on the maps too much, but they are very far away, so it's very strange, very different.
I think for Zerg players too, it's. I mean, you're kind of used to whatever. You don't bunker up a third base, right? Like, there's no Sim City for you to worry about. But for Terran players, I guess too, you gotta be a little bit concerned where you position your army, so that you can't just necessarily rally into your natural. You may have to rally between the natural and the third. I mean, small little subtle things may influence it. That's what I'm really excited about. Like, it's still new. Like, season 2 is still fresh, and it needs to be emphasized to people. And a lot of the map stuff is kind of like you figured out generically, but the nuances of the maps haven't been exploited yet by anybody. The proxy locations all haven't been hammered out now. You know, those sort of small things.
Yeah.
But one thing actually surprisingly gets up here, doesn't die. Oh, there we go. It's gonna send the more in as realizing that there's nothing here to defend. Could pick off the SCV building the third. I kind of would have liked that more than going for the main scout.
Yeah. Yeah, nice race there on the depots. And Yoda actually went for an interesting build here. I was gonna say, oh my god, he's going Banshees, but because he's got those 2 gases. But actually, I don't know if it's a mind game or if, you know, what the idea was with that. But he had a second gas in his main, Yoda did, but he wasn't mining from it. So that starport, he just made a Viking and then didn't do anything more with that.
Well, I think you got to second gas because knowing if you try and squeeze the Viking into your budget as a Terran player, then you can't get medevacs, you can't get stim. Like, it really cuts into it hard. But Golden gonna go for the front line here. Does pick off the SUV building the command center. It's one ring to defend, but he might need these. It's only queens at the moment. A couple spine crawlers are forward, but nowhere that's gonna help. And this Viking is actually picking off the overlords more than he should. The Pult Viking, if you will. I kind of mentioned this in game 1 too. Golden was very liberal about spreading his overlords all across the map. And one Viking in game 1 at Habitation Station probably could have gotten 7 kills or so easily.
Yeah, I quite like the Viking opener. Actually, it's I feel like it's a really good investment. You're always gonna get quite a few overlords, and it's gonna be so much easier to do damage, you know, with your drops later on. Looks like he's gonna be going for that reactor on the starport now to go for those double medivac productions, and he still has the third relatively early as well.
You're not actually gonna catch the Stallions. Like I said, this should collide, but bring those back.
Oh yeah.
You know, map.
I mean,
map vision's hard on this map though, because you get this creep spread, right? But then there's high ground vision up here, and I would love to see tanks come back into play. I mean, can you imagine putting a siege tank on this little ledge here, and then having your army run around the sides? There's no way Lings can get up there in time. There's no way Banelings roll in by any means. Mutalisks maybe? Question mark, but.
Yeah, that could actually be quite interesting to see. There's quite a few different high ground locations on the map.
I'm surprised that Viking's still alive, by the way.
Yeah, indeed. Looks like he's been careful about not losing it, because it has, you know, the potential to do quite a bit throughout the entire game, really, until there are mutas out. And it looks like there will be mutas this game. By the way, no sort of Roach Bane attack or something like that. He's got 6 gases mining, 4th base on the way.
Ooh, taking engagement in the middle of the map, though. Comes in with a little underwhelming amount of Lings, but looks like he'll do enough damage to force a pickup.
Yeah. Yeah, Golden's got quite a lot.
You know, Golden does something a little bit unique that a lot of Zerg players don't as well, where he plays really heavy on the Lings. You don't see him go straight for the Banelings.
Yeah, it's quite interesting. He does make quite a lot of Lings like early on to kind of, you know, try and get the Hellions, do some run by stuff like that. But he still macros really quickly up behind it, so he doesn't, even though he makes so many Lings, he doesn't really fall behind on economy either. He's got 4th base on the way, and he's fully saturated on 3 bases, and he still has, you know, so many Lings out, making sure he doesn't lose creep and stuff like that. He's doing a good job there.
It is a little bit scary with Centrifugal Hooks on the way. It's forcing him to make about the 6 or 7 Banelings you normally need. Spinecrawler's not really in a position to help much here, sadly, unless for some reason Yoda goes north. I guess actually he is actually poking a little bit north for the creep tumors, so might protect 1 or 2 of them.
Yeah. It looks like Golden is maybe just waiting for his 3 mutas, maybe? It looks like he's got...
I think it's Centrifugal Hooks
more
more
like
than
6.
else.
Yeah, that, and I mean, you can engage with slow Banes on creep, but yeah, Bane speed is finished now.
It's always better to have speed than not have speed, I think, no matter what the case is.
Sure. You can avoid getting focus fired, etc.
But he cleans up the drop in the main, he's established a 4th base, and he's actually taking on the high ground, which is kind of cool. I guess you don't really want to take this one here in the north because it's expanding towards Yoda, but when went to the middle of the map, gotta be careful about this. Those are gonna reload soon.
There's an overseer coming in.
Dude, can always have Baneling on it.
Yeah, those mutas were actually quite early, by the way. You know, killing that medivac in the main with the drop, that was, you know, a good trade-off for Golden. So he's getting quite a lot of space here to work with. I'd like to see what he's gonna do with it. I'd like to see him drone up the 4th, and he has some drones there now, so want to get the gases going there to kind of get a bit of an advantage.
I like these Banelings. He's tried to use these before, and he never really seems to be getting much out of them, but this time he hasn't revealed them. Every time Golden's gone for those burrowed Banelings, he's kind of gotten caught burrowing them, so Yoda knew to stay back and scan before advancing forward. This is a very common attack path, and you didn't see it this time.
Yeah, I really like that. That, you know, has the potential to do a lot of damage, and it's quite a small investment. I mean, the biggest investment is really the time and effort of doing it, when you could be doing other things. But yeah, I really like it.
You know, curiously enough as well, just a side note, they're actually going to be on 2-2 at the same time. I guess that's the cost of going for these Mutalisks earlier. Golden wasn't able to start his 2-2 as quick. And normally, you know, you see a Zerg player in 2-2 so much earlier than a Terran player.
Yeah, that's indeed quite possible that he did go for, you know, mutants before the 2-2. So yeah, he has to be careful, I guess, about not engaging in this small timing window where Yoda has 2-2 and he doesn't. But it doesn't look like he will go for the attack yet. So wait for those maybe.
Golden's also finish up his infestation pit too, so he's not going to get stuck on 2-2 either. As ends up being the case a lot for these players. I imagine this will be for the faster hive. It could just be for fungal growth, which are going to be good. But Lings actually slip by everything and get to the main. Oh, there's a huge amount of Marines here waiting though. So goes to the tech lab actually, trying to pick off drilling claws. That'll be pretty cool.
Oh, that would be amazing actually. He doesn't use auto destroying instead, so it doesn't actually end up falling. But I have to kind of just point out, with this fast hive coming down, I'm actually really liking Golden's position. Like, he didn't take any damage to the, you know, pressure earlier, and he's getting the hive really quickly. That kind of just shows how comfortable he feels right now.
Oh, so he knows they're there. He's selected them at least 3 times.
Yeah,
Tentatively, waiting to see where the engage comes down, but. You know, Infestation, you're right. The Hive Tech looks really good for Golden. He's also got Infestors coming out too, something that's normally waited till much, much later in the game. If you hold those Marines in place, like once upon a time you didn't have to. Fungal Growth did enough damage that you didn't have to hold them in place for the Banelings. But if you lock those Marines in place and the Banelings roll in, they're guaranteed to connect. Drop in the main trying to go off, but Yoda... oh no, he doesn't. Does he not know about the airspace? He was trying to rally to the top right corner of the map. Oh, that could have actually been a very big problem. Lings are going to slip. Oh, slips by everything again. There are some units waiting for him though.
Yep. Nicely done there by Yoda, rallying into the natural, I think, to make sure he's airtight.
Are there only 2 Banelings on the map? Does he not tread burrowing any others? I don't see any.
Yeah, I think there's only those 2.
God, that's a lot of Banelings though. Currently 39 with another 12 finishing up here in a second.
Yeah.
He's got the means. He's got the means to take out this army, that's for sure.
Yeah, indeed. We'll have to see how good the Widowmine connections are.
Marines left at home once again. Mutalisks will take out a turret, but I don't know if they'll get too much more behind this. More rallied Marines should be able to start cleaning this up a little bit. This isn't the overwhelming amount of Mutalisks you see. It's 17.
Yeah. I mean, I guess the fast hive and fast, you know, faster upgrades, stuff like that, probably plays into effect there that he doesn't have that many mutas, but still, not a bad amount either. These
guys are trying so hard to bait each other into a fight around this board. Golden's slowly sending small amounts of Banelings to make sure he doesn't over-dedicate, but unfortunately, because he's sending them in low amounts at a time, he can't connect and kill, so the Medivacs are just healing up all that damage. Big attack over here, though. SCVs are going to be retreated into Banelings. Oh, but he doesn't detonate any of them. Oh, why? Okay, well, maybe it works out. Drop goes off segmented towards the main, but it's cleaned up. Again, Golden's so good at keeping these segmented units off, you just don't see other Zerg players doing that. A lot of the times they have their whole army in one big selection. Loses his 4th while this was going on, worth noting, but he also drives back Yoda's 3rd.
Yeah. Yeah, that's actually quite nice. I think Golden realized there that he wasn't training too well at his 4th, so he's like, you know, screw it, I'm just gonna attack your 3rd.
Oh god, he cleans
do
up.
a lot of economic damage.
He cleans up the other side of the map. That is a lot of Banelings brought right now. This is going to be very costly if nothing walks on top of them.
Oh my god.
There are Widowmines littered everywhere too, so neither player can really push in, but they both denied an expansion. The key thing though, Golden's making 7 Ultralisks, and while Yoda does have some Marauders, he's not producing enough to deal with the Ultralisks.
Yeah, he doesn't, I mean, he's not mining from his 3rd. The 4th got denied, the 3rd lifted up, and I mean, sure, Golden lost his 4th, but he's 3 base versus 2 base.
Those are the dumbest Marines I've ever seen, by the way. They scanned for the broad Banelings, sat on top of them, and killed themselves, killing the Banelings. Lots of Widowmines here towards the south. You know, if you don't have a Overseer, you can always fungal them, I guess. That's what he's going to do for detection. Oh, gets a good hit nonetheless.
Yeah, that's quite annoying. Does he have any Overseers? Nice. Made them now.
This is kind of curious. So he did end up taking the base towards the north, and I think this is influenced not by the fact that he's scared to take this base. He's retaking this one, even taking another, but it's the fact that he's got such control of this game, such dominance over Yoda in these engagements. Yoda just can't drop on Golden, and you don't see that often in TVZ. Like, it's not that he won't. It's that every drop is shut down through his entire series.
Yeah, Golden has been playing, defensively really well here. Did a lot of damage there with that counter attack, and
he needs more for this. The ultras alone aren't gonna be enough to cut it, I don't think. Good fungal growth, or no, actually, take that back. Whiffed that fungal growth pretty hard.
yeah, Yoda ends up falling. There's one new infestor with energy for a fungal, so Yoda has to be careful about not running into that. Does find the bird Baneling.
Oh, did those two finally go down in the middle? I was watching the let's chase the medevac, but more Bailings on the way. Again, these additional bases are gonna be fantastic for Golden. He's just, it's less about like, you're not gonna see more drones over there by enemies. You're not gonna see him continue droning at this point, but like, it's the fact that he's got bases to fall back to. He can transfer around. He doesn't have to worry about one drop killing this base and costing him the game because he'll have money. He'll have a bank. The Mutalisk count is actually just kind of perfect, I feel. No more, no less. This will take care of medevacs without being too much of an over-dedication. Can he get a fungal growth on this army, though? In hot pursuit, trying to roll in with the Bailings. Ultralisk coming as well. This is a scary sight if you're a Terran player.
Yeah. Really nice by Yoda there. He's being really careful about not, running into the range of the fungal growth. He's staying just out of range for it and just hiding a little bit to trade off. Nice drop here on the north.
Yeah, he just pulls the drones, though, so he's not going to lose too much to it. This base may fall again.
There's another drop in the natural as well. That's being taken care of. So nice defense by Golden.
Yeah, he actually holds the base in the north.
Yeah, so that's nice for him. Does lose the base in the south. There's another one. Good luck with that.
I kind of feel for Yoda though at this point. I mean, like, he's got burrowed zerglings over here denying the fourth. He can't really do much more off of what he has. His natural's mining out. His main is empty. It was lifted to the third. I mean, at this point, he's in danger of starving. Like, this could just be a game where he loses to attrition, if nothing else. Golden's got this wonderful bank, but this is what you expect of a Zerg player. And moving on to Broodlords, we may see something very reminiscent of Game 1.
Yeah, indeed. I really love to see the Broodlords here. Golden kind of, he's got quite a big economic advantage for now.
Ooh.
So he's just gonna use that.
Yeah, please note, he just started as 3-3. This should have been finished by now, I feel. I didn't even bring it up because I assumed it was done.
Oh, wow.
But
Me too, actually. That's
Yoda's ticket to be in this a little bit longer, to perhaps get that damage done before Broodlords come into play.
Yeah, that's a mistake for sure. It's gonna hurt him. Has to be careful about not losing this base in the north.
Ugh, those corpses go flying for the Banelings. I love the ragdoll effect. Widowmine's gonna get some okay hits, but they need to go off on the Banelings. Banelings actually a waste of the Marauder. How does the Marauder take 8 Baneling hits and live to see another day?
Yeah, they are quite heavily armored.
For sure, man. Get some
henge guys.
Like, how have we not developed technology to give Marines that armor, right? Like, oh, you can't wear my suit. That's my suit, not yours.
I guess it's a heavy thing to carry around. Maybe not everyone has the muscles for it.
That's true, and let's be honest, armored Marines would be pretty broken.
Yeah.
But good fungals will clean up this army to the south. Yoda is not quite maxed out, but neither's Golden, really, curiously enough. But with chitinous plating and 3-3 nearing completion, this is kind of Yoda's clock ticking. Normally, you'd be on an even playing field this late in the game if you had the economy behind this. But Golden, well, actually, you know what? He just lost all of his extra expansions. He doesn't have that extra base that he had over Yoda, so it kind of loses that advantage. And this is what I was talking about. Like, this is where Yoda needed to get the damage done, and he's certainly done precisely that.
Yeah, I think Yoda kind of realized, like, damn it, I have to really, do something here and really step up my game and, start playing a bit quicker maybe.
Yeah.
Because I think he realized how far behind he was falling. And then all of a sudden, there's drops everywhere. There's, like, attacking at 2 different places while there's a drop in another place. A lot of things going on. And, Golden's been doing a good job of defending, but Yoda still made it work. So nicely done by him there. But Golden, is he getting those Broodlords yet? Because that's going to be the scary thing for Yoda.
Well, here come the first couple Corruptors. Normally you only want, like, what? I think 2 or 4. No, it's 3 or 4 is like the magic number so that you get enough to deal with the Widowmines. But beyond that, it's just overkill. You're like, ha ha ha, I'm ahead, you have no Vikings. Yeah.
Yeah.
And if we could be real for a second, I think Golden would be like the one player in StarCraft 2 who would do like the evil villain laugh. Like rubbing his hands together like
Yeah, I can quite picture that. Sure.
Actually, Widowmines are denying these bases. Pretty hardcore. Golden's got this one in the middle, sure, but economically speaking, it's kind of almost technically one base versus one base at this point.
Yeah, it's quite crazy. Golden had so many different expansions and so much mining going on, and now all of a sudden, he's mining on one base, so it'll come down, I guess, to maybe Broodlords.
I want to see more infestors out of him, honestly. I just don't feel 3's enough. Even if you get perfect fungals with
Yeah.
all 3, there's still so much more behind that.
Yeah, he will run out of fungals really quickly. Yeah, if Yoda macros well, it's gonna be hard to really lock down all of the army.
Look at this Widow Mine count, though. This is insane. But this is also going to be kind of a saving grace. There's 1 Overseer available. If he picks
Oh,
off
yeah,
the
that's a big
Overseer, how many Widow Mines? That's currently 18 Widow Mines. That's actually enough damage to kill Ultralisks.
Yeah, that is quite a lot.
Alright, well,
Also,
Yoda-
we're pointing out, by the way, we had the main for Yoda lifted up to his 4th, and we
Yep.
got the 3rd lifted up to the 5th. So using the Terran lift-off capability there to the fullest,
Woo.
not making any more expansions, just lifting up.
That's kind of unfortunate too, because as a Terran player at this point, you want to be on like 5-7 orbitals. You start sacking SCVs because mules will carry your economy. But he actually has to maintain SCVs, which is why his army supply ends up being lower as a sort of cause and effect.
Yeah. At the same time, actually, he's got a surprisingly large amount of army supply.
Both players, yeah.
do. So how many SCVs does he have? 56. Yeah.
I didn't see the Widowmine go off, but I saw the corpse fly across my screen. God, I love the ragdoll fight. But oh, this fungal growth! This fungal growth! Yoda's about to lose so much! Oh no!
Oh.
This is such a big hit to take! Or he's gonna trade almost nothing out for it. Tries to go towards the south, tries to take advantage of the fact that maybe the army's out of position, but unable to do even that. No medevacs for this army means no healing. That stim he just pulled off. Oh my god,
Yeah,
did he
that-
forget to make
that's a
medevacs this whole
painful
time?
loss.
I think he did.
Well, I mean, he just lost like
4.
7.
But
Oh, okay.
But still, I mean, to go this heavy with no medevacs? Oh, whatever, that's crazy.
Yeah.
What am I still managing to walk around the map, by the way? And I guess they don't go
Sure.
off on larva, apparently? Fun to know.
Oh, okay. Oh, Yoda has to be careful. He's got no medivacs to pick up. Like,
That's-
if he
yeah.
can fungal here, that's it.
Well, that's the thing, and he can't even effectively kite too much, because if he stims, the Ultralisks will just... Well, they'll kill units with 10 HP, no problem.
Yeah.
There's the Overseer going to clean this stuff up, though. Ultras give him pursuit. There's a couple of Widowmines left, but there's nothing left for Yoda. I mean, he's got rallied unit reinforcements at home, but this whole part of the map is dead. He got a couple of Ultralisks, cool. That's kind of cool, I guess, but still no real answer to the Broodlords.
Yeah, I
But
guess.
actually... Oh, Namjar. There's like no anti-air. The Infestors got picked off. There's only 1 Queen, 1 Mutalisk.
Wow.
Here comes
Yeah,
some
there's-
Corruptors, but even then, it's a low amount. I guess the reinforcements might barely be enough. But that's why, I guess that's why Golem was disengaging. I was like, why don't you just push with this army, this massively unbreakable army?
Yeah, Yoda actually committing quite hard here, by the way. He's got
Yeah,
a few
this
medivacs,
is-
but
Well, it's
Not
kind of
that this is a
necessary,
good idea.
though. I think he knows he can't out-macro Golden at this point.
yeah.
Army supply bleeding out. Last couple of medevacs are going to get fungled. 1 Corruptor, 2 Corruptors, sorry, slowly cleaning this up. And I think for Yoda, well, it's not game, but he's so out of money. He's so broke. He's got no Widowmine coverage behind this. He's got not enough to deal with the Ultras.
Yeah, and he's just really not trading well enough with this army based on you know what his economy looks like. He has to get some better trades off somehow, but it's gonna be really difficult versus these Broodlords.
Yeah, again, you don't need a heavy count. The Broodlings do things like trigger 3 Widowmines, for example.
Yeah.
So hard to deal with as a Terran player. But pushing through here, this army's a little unstoppable, and it's not even as a Terran player. Like, Golden's just out of control at this point. Whether it was another Zerg or a Protoss at the end of this beat stick, I think Golden would be pretty okay with this composition he has.
Yeah. Yoda did make 2 additional starports, but they're not really. I mean, he doesn't have the money to make more Vikings right now, so not able to get as many Vikings as he would have liked to have.
Look at the resources lost, by the way. I mean, that's just like a salute to both of these players. Regardless of how this goes, Yoda is kind of on his way out. But these guys have played this to a T to both ends.
Yeah, that's surprisingly even, actually. I thought Golden would have been trading a bit better, but I guess he's just been mining more, so he's just been able to, make enough to just replace his army again and again.
This has been a really good series. I can't even.
Yeah, both players are playing really well. That's for sure.
Well, pushing into one of Yoda's last mining bases. This one's not going to stand up much longer either. Tries to float down here, but there's a hatchery already blocking it. We actually have a drop in some Widowmines that may pick off this hatchery, and picks off the one in the middle of the map. Golden actually effectively broke now. And he doesn't have the capability to remax, but I don't think Yoda... If Yoda had an army big enough to trade evenly, Yoda's still in this game. He just did so much damage to Golden, but he doesn't have any follow-up, and that's the biggest problem.
Yeah. Yeah, both of them have no money, but yeah, Golden has the bigger army.
Oh, those SCVs!
Oh.
Rest in peace, guys.
Yep, rip. That sucks. I mean, I guess...
Workers
Can't
killed.
mine anywhere.
Look at Workers killed, too. Everything about this game. Like, I can't believe just how evenly matched these two guys are. I think the one thing worth noting, though... Actually, no, it's not even... I take that back. Never mind. Just Golden broke. Period. Income 0 and 0 across the board.
Let's see. How many drones does he have? 39. Where are they? He does have the base
transferring
actually
now.
in the bottom right.
Yeah, they're just now transferring.
Yeah.
I
That's
can't.
gonna be a really big deal.
But that's why Golden's not pushing to win, guys. He knows he has no money behind this. He can't risk it because he doesn't know. Maybe Yoda's got a bank. Actually, Yoda's third because it was denied earlier. If you drop some mules on it, that's some extra money for him. He's got like 5 patches still.
Loses a lot of units here in the bottom though, and is that gonna be it? How many units does he have?
I don't think he can hold this. The starports are gonna go down.
37 Marines.
This medevac is screwed.
Oh no. Oh.
I think he's focusing really hard on picking off the economy of Golden. He's pushing with some Marauders too across the map, but I don't think he can instigate a base trade fully and entirely. There's Mutalisks in the air and Corruptors as well, so even if he floats buildings...
Yeah, and Golden realizes that. I mean, he's playing really safe here. He doesn't even want a base trade versus
Oh, gets the
those
Greater Spire though.
Marauders. That's quite nice. Gonna get the Painting Nest as well.
This is so dumb. I mean, the thing is, this looks like... I think a lot of people at this point are like, why doesn't Golden just move in and win? It's because he can't. He hasn't been in a position where he just A-moves to win. Like, this has been really well played out by Yoda, and I can't stress that enough. Like, he's probably still going to lose this, still ahead in a big way, but Yoda has done so much while this has been going on, and I just don't know another Terran player who could have even lived this long.
Indeed, and looks like Golden is, sick of the wait now. Is gonna
Going for the kill. That's so many Zerglings to deal with too. Not enough Widowmice to pick them off. But has to disengage once again. Doesn't quite know if he's got enough. He doesn't know what Yoda has.
Yeah.
Golden, I'm sure at this point, is pulling out his hair like, where is the money coming from? How does he have anything left? But GG finally called. Ladies and gentlemen, congratulations to Golden.
Wow, yeah, he played really well there. Really solid macro play, and Yoda, I mean, the biggest blow in that game I felt like was, that counterattack that, killed all the SCVs at Yoda's third, and he had to lift up the third, and he didn't do any mining for so long. I feel like that was the turning point for Golden getting really ahead in this game.
I would agree with that, definitely.